As you can see behind me, they're starting to blow up the balloons now. In a matter of minutes, I'll be going up in a Lloyd's TSB balloon with two parachutists who'll be jumping out. The Northampton Festival got off to a flying start this year when around 30 hot air balloons successfully took off early Friday morning. This year's festivious years, as the town show and the balloon festival have been merged due to the foot and mouth outbreak of last year. However, this year's looks set to be the biggest and best. 1 million people were expected to attend over the weekend. Not only were the balloons on show, but there was also lots of daily entertainment planned, such as arena events, stage acting, of course. Its rewards. As here at NTV, we were lucky enough to go up in the Lloyd's TSB balloon, courtesy of Virgin Airship Company, and we had the pleasure of seeing two of them at 3,000 feet. Just before they were about to make the jump, I spoke to one of the madmen, Chris, from the Black Knights.
Doing it for ourselves and plus Christian Brown, who's Virgin Balloon Company. We've come along. It's Northampton Festival today to the show site as well, so it's all good fun.
How far do you have to go up in this balloon before you guys are going to jump out the balloon?
Well, the balloon is different. We have 8 feet on a demo, so because it's still air, it's around about 3,000 feet, which I would call it saying yes, I'm happy to leave the aircraft or the balloon as it is. At the moment, I've completed about 550 jumps. Done about 60 demonstrations up and down the country over the last year and a half. Basically, I'm looking forward to being an instructor towards the end of the year as well, so I can train people to throw them out the aircraft. Dispatch them out the aircraft.
And have you ever jumped out of a hot air balloon before?
Yes, we did this at the beginning of the year. We jumped out just for basically a photographic session. So we did it at the beginning of the year, which was good fun. So here we are again.
And how different is it to jumping out of an aircraft?
It's very different. It could be a lot of problems, i.e. getting stable, because in an aircraft we are moving forward. In a hot air balloon we're either moving up and down and slightly forward, so it's basically still air. So as you can probably see when our exits, it won't be as stable as it would be normally, so I'm sure everybody will have a laugh at us when we decide to leave.
After reaching 4,500 feet, we dropped through a hole in the clouds, and the views were something I'll certainly remember for the rest of my life. Then it was time for the men to jump, and I don't know who was more scared, them or me.
Ready, steady, go!
Woo! Once the men had made a safe landing, we carried on climbing in a hot air balloon, and we began to hover just above the town centre. I grabbed a quick word with the man responsible for our safety, Richard, the pilot of the Lloyd's TSB balloon.
I've been a pilot for 22 years now. First flew when I was 6 years old with my father and sister. And I still enjoy it, it's great. At the moment, we're 2,600 feet. We had a maximum altitude of, 4,600 feet. And then we dropped the skydivers off at 3,900. And they've made a safe landing now, so they'll be collected by their chaps. And we're gently on our way, and you never know, get somewhere near the launch site. I think it's the freedom. And as you saw earlier when we went up through a hole in the clouds, you saw above the clouds and how wonderful it was out there with the sun shining. And then when we came back down again through that other hole we found, back down into the gloom.
And what are you going to be doing for the rest of the festival here in Northampton?
And a couple more skydivers, I think, and generally having a wonderful time at the Northampton Balloon Festival.
And do you like the festival? Do you look forward to
Bristol, And Bristol Balloon Fiesta for us is always quite high pressure, as it were. Lots of flying to be done and lots of people to be flown. But we come to Northampton, and bailed, so we're not putting anybody out by landing in them.
Now, I don't know if you're Kingsthorpe, and the views are absolutely amazing. Earlier, we reached 4,500 feet just above the clouds, and the views are spectacular. Well, I'm back on. I'd certainly recommend hot air ballooning to anyone. It was absolutely amazing. I'd love to do it again. So Richard, on flight went.
Well, I know. How do you think it went? You're still alive? No bumps or bruises? And we landed right next to our colleagues in the Benadryl balloon here in Delapre Abbey.
So, what are the boys doing now? How are they packing up the balloon?
Well, they're just crushing all the hot air out of it. You don't have to fold a hot air balloon. It's the largest. When we get it out, the hot air inside it will take all the wrinkles out. So they just crush all the hot air out and then stuff it in the bag that's up at the end there that you can see. And stuffing it in will undo the wires from the bottom, stuff those in, and then we're all packed up, and it'll take about 10 minutes.
My work wasn't over until I helped pack away the balloon, but it didn't take long, and before I knew it, we were heading back to the festival just in time for breakfast.
Hello, I'm Chuck, and today 2002. A couple of weeks back, I was careering around the track at Rockingham Motor Speedway doing 130 miles an hour. But today it's slightly different. I'm up in a balloon, tranquilly moving over Northampton.
Now, I wasn't the only NTV presenter to get an early balloon ride on Friday morning. Chuck was also lucky enough to experience.
Nick, beautifully peaceful morning. How's flying conditions for you?
Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, visibility could be a bit better. It's nice, clear blue skies, but yeah, it's a lovely. Winds are our main concern, really. Anything above 12 miles an hour, really, it gets a bit hairy flying. That's when you land, of course, not when you're in it.
So,
We're at about 1,100 feet at the moment.
we're generally being flown in the direction of the wind itself. There's no...
No, we're heading in a southerly direction, and as you can see from the balloons over there, they're heading more round to the right. So the higher we go, the more right we go. But we're going to come down left and head back southerly. So that's the way you steer balloons, is by using the wind at different heights. Which are very flexible, so you'll find that out if we land hard, so bend your knees. And Ordnance Survey maps we are not particularly welcome, which is where farmers have cattle or crop, and obviously we rely on the farming community for us, so we don't want to upset the farming community.
Certainly not. We're just heading over the M1 now, as we can see that on your map. But obviously there's lots of balloons in the sky that are so congested.
No, I mean, this isn't particularly congested. I mean, I think when people come at the weekend, they'll see how how congested it's a fabric rather than the basket to the fabric. Then it's not a major problem.
He's phoning his gran to let him know of his experience in the hot air balloon. After a fairly smooth landing and with no ground crew in sight, it was up to Chuck to help pack away the balloon.
A lovely safe landing, and within 15 minutes the balloon's packed away and in its bag. We're just waiting for the ground support team to come along and bung it in the back of their wagon, and then we're back off for Festival 2002.
Now, of course, the festival isn't just about balloons. There's plenty of other things going on as well. The man in charge of the whole event is Matt Parsons. I caught up with him to see how things were going.
So far, so say 99 red balloons is going on at the moment, so yeah, it's fine. It's brilliant at the moment. It's going really, really well.
And obviously the balloons went up this morning. It must help that obviously the balloons are going off this year, unlike last year.
That's right. At 6 o'clock this morning, when you see the balloons go off, you think, hallelujah, as they say, no foot and mouth, everything's gone off. So, especially tonight when the sun's out and the crowds will be here at 6 o'clock, it'll be really, really good tonight as well.
So what's actually going on over this weekend?
Well, this afternoon we've got arena entertainment. There are 2 stages, the Northampton Scientists, well, Classic Gold stage, I should say, sorry. And there's also the BBC Radio. There's exhibitions and everything else going on this afternoon. And then tonight we're going to have the evening concerts with the King and Who's Who. We've got arena entertainment, we've got actually parachutists, and we've got fireworks.
Horsing around, join us after the break with more from the Northampton Festival 2002.
Diamond Lettings are proud to sponsor NTV's coverage of the Festival Northampton 2002.
Mo, you is watching North. Big up NTV and respect your nan.
Having my ride in a hot air balloon, I was certainly gaining a head for height. So I had a go in Virgin's Benadryl hopper. Now, as you out of this hopper, and I'm actually here with its pilot, Balcome. So Balcome, can you tell me all about this Benadryl
Yeah,
hopper?
you're exactly right. You're in a one-person balloon. You've done extremely well. I did actually take this up to 3,500 feet this morning and watch some parachutists get out of another balloon and land back in the field. But it is essentially exactly the same as any of the other balloons that you see.
And why do you like going in this hopper? Why is it so different to going up in a hot air balloon?
Oh, I think it is even more the freedom of actually passengers. I can make my own decision, and it's quite a small balloon. Thank you to all the people at the depot this morning. I actually landed in a railway depot, and they didn't even get in, came in and just walked along the tracks and up to their offices, and they said, thank you very much, great landing. A bigger balloon couldn't have done that. They had to find a nice big park, so wonderful.
Now, obviously, we saw you here last year with the monster balloon.
That's right, yes. So we're off to Europe in the next couple of weeks. We've got a tour which will take in Norway and Belgium with the monster balloons this year.
And obviously, are you pleased that you're actually flying this year?
Oh, yes. I mean, I was very fortunate, as you say. I was flying the monster balloon last year, which meant I could tour Europe and Canada. But yes, it's great that foot and mouth has cleared up, and we're more or less back to normal in this country. People have seen balloons flying again.
Now, let's see what Chuck's up to.
Well, Gina, you wouldn't believe it. I'm standing with a radio legend, John Griff, of course, Classic Gold.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Legend or legend?
Well, a bit of both, really.
Easy for you to say twice. It's going well. It's 2002. It's the festival, of course, rather than the balloon festival, which is like putting everything, and it looks as though it's going to be fantastic. The weather is looking good, and we've had the balloons up already today.
The weather is fantastic. We're both wearing sunglasses, but you've been up in a balloon, have you, today?
Yeah, I have at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning in the Aston Martin balloon, and we had just the best of times. We were up for about an hour and a quarter. We managed to go around the entire balloon festival M1. We managed to fly through a hedge at one point. We were flying lower than the lampposts that were around the Rotherthorpe services. We managed to hop over the M1 without causing any accidents and got back here for about 9 o'clock. It was magnificent, brilliant fun.
Excellent. We too also went up in a balloon this morning. Not maybe as long as you, but we did end up in a field and have to down.
Oh, well, mate, what can I say?
Talking of work, now you're here this afternoon with Classic Gold, playing a few tunes, and your show actually goes out live this afternoon.
Yeah, full 4-hour show. We got a couple of balloon flights to give away during the course of the afternoon. A few bits and pieces, playing some very good music, and of course it is 25 years since the death of Elvis Presley, so...
Not a big fan of Elvis, I'm afraid, but hey...
He is of you!
The man responsible for most of the balloons at this year's festival, I decided to give my feet a rest, so I caught up with Christian inside the Lloyd's TSB balloon. Now, I'm inside the Lloyd's TSB balloon, which I flew up in earlier, and I'm actually here with Christian, who's head of Virgin Airship Balloons. So, Christian, can you tell me all about the balloons you've got here at the festival?
Absolutely, as you see, in a giant cathedral of cloth. This one here is takes about a ton of cold air and stands about 100 foot tall. The other 7 or 8 balloons we got, they're about the same sort of height. We've got the Energy balloon, we've got the Soothers man balloon, or one-person balloon. Great fun, designed to sort of skim around the sky, a bit like a race car, so that's good fun too.
And how pleased are you to be flying this year?
The whole thing has been an absolute nightmare, and to actually get back in the sky, we love Northampton. This is one of our favourite places to fly. Lots and lots of cut crop, so we can land everywhere. Everybody's really excited to see us. It's just brilliant. It really is so excited. We had 70,000 people here this morning to see us go. They tell us they're going to have 250,000 people else. So just hopefully we can do our thing and fly all the time. The weather looks brilliant. You know, it's going to be 30 degrees later on, which causes a bit of problem with flying and stuff. But you know, that falls in your head. They're designed to do that, so I wouldn't worry about that at all if I were you. Do you want to know a little bit about this balloon here?
Yeah.
It's all hand stitched. Takes about 3 girls about 2.5 weeks to actually stitch it all together. The artwork here, as you can see, it's all applique. That means it's all cut in all by hand. It's basically put together by seamstresses. The basket, still the old traditional wicker. That's probably the only thing that will survive what we call a landing with actually controlled crash. But a lot of fun, yeah, a lot of fun.
So what can we expect this year from you at the festival?
Well, we've got the night glow, which is really, really good news. We've also got the sound stage just behind us. That's for Saturday up and coordinate that because that's going on at 9:30, so a bit later than normal. We've got all these 80s bands. Howard Jones, haven't heard from him for a while, so we're going to have a go with that in time to music because each balloon glows like a giant light bulb, so that's quite fun too.
There were many daily arena events taking place at the festival throughout the weekend, were the most entertaining.
Come on! Just seen a fine display of equestrian charms on horseback. I'm joined by Daniel. Daniel, wonderful display out there in the main arena. How was it for you?
It's very hot today, but I think the show went well as a whole. Bit of a wind, a breeze, so it keeps them cool. We've got 3 days, we've got enough horses with us to chop and change throughout the week. Keep it lively.
How many horses have you actually got with you here in Northampton?
There's 9 with us here today.
The horses enjoy coming out to these things and showing off.
Yeah, they do, because they get to feel, they become grass junkies almost. They get to see by their ears and they're always willing to do it.
Now, listening to your credits that were calling out on the PA, you've done quite a bit of movie stardom.
Authors, we've done Braveheart, Rob Roy, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. A new one's coming out, Four Feathers with Heath Ledger, but it's quite a long old list.
Stagecoach you used in today's event, is that real? Is that manufactured specifically for yourselves?
Well, no, actually it's 25 years old. He bought a little matchbox, the little things you get as a replica, and then built it himself, because for this sort of thing it has to be quite sturdy.
Well, anything Gina can do, I can do.
So Chuck thinks he can do better than me, does he? Well, at least I got my balloon off the ground. Continuing with our challenge, Chuck decided to race me on the slide.
This is it, Gina. The ultimate challenge. Sliding.
Sliding down a slide.
A very kind of... This is mine. It's in the bag.
Chuck, I've won the last 3 out of our challenges. Come on, let's see who's going to win.
Yeah, up we go.
Well, I beat Chuck again. What did I say, Chuck? You're a loser. Not to dent Chuck's ego too much, we let him on the NTV stand, where he entertained...
Great job, this is. Right, okay, just as... there you go, son. You might be wearing... There you go. Hey, look, a teddy bear! There you go.
So, what have you been doing here today at the festival?
Basically looking around, enjoying the weather mainly.
And what stalls have you been to today?
Oh, I've been looking around the motorcycles, I'm a motorcyclist fan.
And then what have you most enjoyed about the festival today?
But we do enjoy the festival. It's a good turnout in Northampton. And I am a Northampton Tonian, so I'm alright.
Leah, you brought the family out. How are you having it?
Yeah, I've got my husband, and this is Hannah, Gary's little girl. And we're just enjoying the show. Just come down here with Bob Roddy, who hired it to us for nothing, which is fantastic.
Get a plug in.
Yeah, and because he's had his ligament done, and
Motoring around in this. Is it a good vehicle?
This is fantastic. The road holding's really good with it, and the acceleration's very good as well.
Miles per hour?
I'm told it's about 10.
Your leg looks to be flat out though. How's that feeling?
The leg's okay. Bit of a long recuperation style, I don't mind. And this weather.
really handy for shopping as well.
Most certainly, you don't have to carry many bags around. Hannah, you've got your... What's the best thing you've seen today?
Very stretchy top.
Maybe balloons. A stretchy top. Best thing you've seen.
Yeah, the big bungee.
A big bungee thingy. Are you looking forward to seeing the balloons tonight? Yeah? But it's been nice the weather, hasn't it?
It's been gorgeous.
Excellent.
Race course over the whole weekend. Matt and his team were working very hard to make sure everything ran smoothly.
A good balloon festival weather, we usually get 250,000 over a weekend. So, because it's the one show as well, with the, combining the town show and the balloon festival. But best thing to do is to judge it by 6 o'clock tonight and 6 o'clock Saturday evening. You see how busy it is there.
And how important do you think the town show and the balloon festival?
Intuitive, getting everybody in Northampton together, and actually it's not like a celebration, but I think Northampton needs things like that, things for people to go to. Really been a good idea.
Well, it's certainly been a long day, Gina. I was up at 4:30 this morning.
Yes, Chuck, I was as well, very early, but it was certainly one of the best things I've done. Had a wonderful day. Look, the sun's out, what more could you ask for?
Nothing more at all, apart from to stay tuned to Northampton TV for more festival footage 2002.
The NTV's coverage of the Festival Northampton 2000.